To the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us. August 6th, 2022, and this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show hosted by Mike Overson of Illuminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering of the We Team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus, and I'm Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team. Remax Advantage Plus, appreciate you tuning in. This is a live show. We're on Twin Cities News Talk AM 1130. Saturday from 10 to 11. And we're also on all the various social media channels, wherever you might be catching this. Thank you. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got a fun show today. We've got a great group in studio, as you can see with us. Want to introduce them and welcome them. Scott, Mr. Wolmering, good to see you there, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to go live here in just a minute or so, and at 11:30 a.m. If you're catching us on the radio, appreciate you tuning in on Facebook. Like Ryan said, interactive show. Love your comments. Love your feedback during the show. If there's something you want us to cover, go ahead and just type it in. We'll cover it live as it comes in. And if you want to go live on air, 612-294-6949. That's 612-294-6949. Or you can also text your question to that number.
Have two wise individuals with us in the room today. The first of which is Mr. Sanford, Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance. Good to see you, young man.
You too. How's everything going?
Going well.
Good,
going well.
good.
We're gonna have a fun day today.
Absolutely. You know, I feel like if I couldn't be any better. If I were, I'd be a carnival ride.
Steve Stalock, welcome, buddy.
Hey. Just happy to be one of the wise guys.
We're going live on air here now. Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. Thanks for joining us. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in. It is Saturday, August the 6th, 2022, when we are live here at Twin Cities News Talk. AM 1130 every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson of Illuminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering of the We Team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team with Remax Advantage Plus, and my name is Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team. Remax Advantage Plus as well, live show here from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday morning. And we welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us by phone here through Twin Cities News Talk AM 1130, or if you're catching us on social media, whatever your favorite channel might be, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, LinkedIn. We stream the show as well, so you can see Mr. Wolmering live in person. And Scott, good morning to you, bud.
Yeah, good to be here. Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We are live and local here in Golden Valley, and we are live until the top of the hour. Love your questions and your comments. 612-294-6949. You can go live on air. You can also text us at that number if you're a little bit shy, and we'll handle your question as it comes in. It's been a great week and a very busy real estate market, which we're going to get into in a little bit. Had a great event, the team event, the golf event that was on Thursday. And amazingly raised $33,500 for the charity. What was the charity again, Mark?
Yeah, the charity. So every year, our team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team, we do a annual charity golf event. This year, the charity we picked was an organization called Breaking Free here in the Twin Cities, and through all the sponsorship of our radio partners, of people that stopped out to play golf that day, again, raising over $33,500. Just a great turnout, very generous by so many people. There were three people in particular I wanted to thank. Jaylen Mackey, who works with our team, the Minnesota Real Estate Team, organizing the whole event, along with Marie Rivard. Marie is a great agent on our team, and she had a connection with Breaking Free, and has supported their organization for a long time. And then third of all, Angie Savageau. Angie did a nice job in getting people to support the event, to let people know, various sponsors, that type of thing. So between the three of them, they just did a ton of work. And again, Breaking Free is essentially an organization that supports and helps women who get kind of taken in through sex trafficking. And it's certainly not a real happy or uplifting thought, but here in the Twin Cities, it's something that happens, and it was really powerful, Scott. We had a very powerful address by kind of one of the gals who she was very young, like 12, 13 years old. She got taken in, and it talked about how this organization helped her throughout those years to kind of break free and to get her independence. So just a really great organization. And you can Google Breaking Free. You can find them on Facebook. But Scott, that was a powerful speech she gave.
Yeah, just an incredible organization, and it is. It's one of those things that no one, you don't want to talk about. It's not a happy thought, but it does happen. And like anything else, there needs to be places like this that can help people get beyond it.
Yeah, again, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. Super appreciative, again, everybody that supported the Minnesota Real Estate Team's annual charity golf event. We're going to be sending out some photos, some fun photos. You know who I like? Paul Dokauer on our team. Paul's like a video king.
I know he is.
So one of the things with the videos, he created threw it up on Facebook and Instagram. But everybody always likes to make fun of how white I am.
I saw the video.
You saw the video? They love to jab me. They're like, Ryan, do you ever get outside? So there's a kind of a close-up shot between my leg and then a gal who works with us, Katie Conrad, who's got a very nice tan. So it's actually kind of embarrassing.
It's pretty white.
It's pretty embarrassing.
I mean, speaking of white, you also have your family reunion today. That's probably going to be the whitest group of people on the planet.
Hey, you know what though? You mentioned Brad Sanford. What is this month? This month is something unique.
Well, this month is F month to the Sanford family, right?
And what does that mean?
That means you fertilize your lawn.
Yes.
You have family reunions.
Family reunions.
The fair starts.
State fair.
State fair starts. Football starts.
Football.
And then obviously your Farmers Friendly Review with Brad Sanford.
Wow. I love it.
It's the F month.
Somebody came prepared. At least one of us did in the room. Hey,
just for you.
No, you know what? I do want to give a shout out because we have our Bayland family reunion on my mom's side of the family over in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. A ton of fun. The Bayland family is just wonderful folks. Lots of fun. So we're gonna be heading there this afternoon. But I also want to give a shout out, speaking of family reunions, to my dear mother-in-law, Sue Kane. Sue, her maiden name is Krippner. And so the Krippners get together once a year. It's all the siblings. And I'm trying to remember if it's 16 siblings. But Sue is the oldest and wisest, should we say. And they get together up at one of the siblings' place. And it's literally like 150 people that get together once a year. I'm so bummed that I can't make it because I love going to the Krippner gathering as well. But think of that. I mean, those are your immediate siblings, first cousins. Once a year, it's outdoors in a big pole barn up near St. Cloud. That's fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
How about a little real estate?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, that's what the show's name is anyway.
Little real estate. Hey, so Mike Overson, Illuminate Home Loans, he is out of town this week. He and his team, again, apply with Mike. They do a wonderful job. Be sure to plug in with Mike in his group. Mortgage rates this week, again, just pulling up from some online resources. This one from Bloomberg, 30-year fixed rates, 5.6%. 15-year fixed, 4.84%. A 30-year fixed jumbo, also 5.6%. And then some of the ARM products, a 5/1 ARM, 4.2%. And then a 5/1 ARM on a refi, 4.18%. So, Scott, interest rates kind of stabilized a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of what Mike had predicted, is that we were probably going to drop back into the fives and kind of hang around there for a little bit. and that beginning of next year, he's expecting that we're going to be into the fours again. And so again, for people that are out there that our interest rates in the last 100 days have doubled, from 2.8% to 6 basically. And there are ways to navigate that. The 5-1 ARM I'm a big fan of. So you can go ahead and lock your rate for 5 years at 4%. And then if Mike's correct in the next year or 2 years, if rates do drop back into the the low 4s or mid 4s, that's a time that you can refinance out, but you're not going to have such a big payment during that that time period. It'll give you a little grace.
Yeah, how about real estate numbers? Before the first break here, we always like to touch on what's going on in the Twin Cities compared to last year at this time. New listings down 13.5%. So only 1,607 new properties came on the market. Pending sales down 25%. So a quarter drop compared to last year at this exact same time, 1,142. And then the overall inventory still continuing to grow. It is up almost 10% year over year, 8,729 total listings on the market. Scott, that's interesting. New listings again down 13.5%. We are feeling the slowdown. Mortgage lenders, title companies, real estate agents, and brokers in the market. 25% drop, Scott. Things are still selling, but it's slower.
It is. We talked about this beginning of the year that we thought we were going to see a slowdown around the end of July, August, and we're there. Nothing to get really freaked out about. We had the same thing happen last year when interest rates were at 3%.
Yeah.
It was a very aggressive real estate market as far as an appreciation goes, and people have their limits. And so you all of a sudden a house you bought a year ago for 300 is now worth 350, and if you bought it for 275 2 years ago, now it's worth 380 or 400. And at some point the market's going to push back, and that's what we've seen. You throw on top of that doubling interest rates. So not only do you have a housing market that's going up exponentially, but you also literally doubled your payment in the last 100 days. And then you throw on top of that just some of the economic factors, the inflation, cost of gas. And of course, people are just taking a breath. They're like, you're getting hit from all sides. And we have felt a slowdown. It will become the new norm, and people will settle in. So it's nothing to freak out about. But it's definitely slowed down.
Yeah, again, we're going to talk more about it. We're already at the first break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Got a great show today. Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance, Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection. A lot to talk about here today. The sky is not falling with the Minnesota real estate market. So don't freak out if you are a buyer, a seller, if you are a fellow agent. If we've learned nothing over doing this for 20 years is that life goes on. People keep buying and selling homes, and the sky is not falling when it comes to our market. So we'll talk more about that after the break. 612-294-6949. Thanks for so many folks tuning in. Social media every Saturday. We're here. If you got questions, comments, thoughts, good morning to so many comments. Janelle, Ashley, JT, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Anything at all that you want to throw at us, insurance related, home inspection related, dating related,
Family reunion related.
There's nothing off limits. We try to keep it fun, interesting. It's not too diehard with the real estate. But we do welcome your questions, and we already got some phone lines ringing here as well. What do you think, guys? We're moving forward. Brad, with the insurance industry, have you seen a tick back? I mean, have you seen less activity this year? You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, Scott was right. When people are buying over $500,000, they're just paying more for the home, right? But someone underneath that, they may not qualify, and some of those people have fallen off. And so when you're buying a home and it's an investment, you got to make sure you have the right coverage because it took a lot to get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
And I just saw an article on KMSP that reiterated what Scott said. You got to have a place to live, right? A one bedroom is nationally on average is $1,769. And a 2-bedroom is $2,100
To rent?
to rent.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? You can get a home for that around here.
Oh my gosh! Well, for less than that, we've said on the program for the last few years. The only thing busier than the real estate market is the rental market. I mean, it is, and you're right, a small one bedroom in Lakeville. I've got Jen, my ex is living in an apartment, and I think it's almost $1,800. And it's a nice place, but it's just a little one bedroom apartment.
What else are the F's? Family reunions,
Fairs.
state fair. Hey, the state fair is coming. Should we go live at the fair? What do you think, Scott?
Like I said, it's all about crowd control.
For you,
We got to you have to have the whatever those things are called up so people stay back and they don't rush the glass like they did when we did it last time. But other than that, yeah, it would be fun.
Yeah, you know what? We have done it before. It is actually fun. Steve, do you like going to the fair?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. The people watching is
See?
outstanding.
You're a fair guy, Brad.
Oh, I'm a fair guy. No, I'm a great guy. I mean, yeah, I love the fair. Absolutely.
Fair. We got a
And that
couple.
roasted corn.
We do have a couple callers again coming in, and you're welcome to comment. Thank you, Janelle said go live at the fair. Thank you, Janelle, for a little voice of support there. That would be nice. I think that would be actually it was fun. It was fun to do that, but Scott is not a big fair person, so for me to get him over there is a little bit of an act of God. I did take him to a concert one year. He didn't really appreciate that. Here we go. We're going live on air. Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. Mike Dubs, kind of bringing us down a little on this rainy day. Scott, have you been to Paisley Park?
I have not.
Mike, you been there? What? You're a Prince fan, aren't you, Mike? Yeah, Steve, you love a little Prince?
I can do Prince. Yeah, this is a classic song right here.
Oh, it is a good one. Hey, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We do appreciate you joining us. We're first going to go to some callers here. We've got Trent who called in. Trent, thank you for calling the show, and how can we best help?
So you just ran through the numbers, and I called in about this time last year and said that the crash of '08 is coming back again. You guys ran through the numbers. How many 30 days, 90 days late are there? And because I know in my household of four, it's cost me $1,000 or more just in fuel, and there's a breaking point. So, but 30 days, 90 days late on mortgages, what are those numbers?
It's a great question, Trent. This is Scott Wolmering, and I don't actually know what those numbers are, although I have talked with Mike Overson about it, and indications are right now that there's very little foreclosure stirring, if you want to say that, going on out there now. I do agree that with households being hit, at some point there's got to be a give. But again, on the crash of '08, totally different scenario than what we're in right now. The crash of '08 was based on the mortgage industry, giving loans to people that had no business getting a loan, and we also had the flood of homes that hit it once everybody started walking away. Where the reversal now is, yeah, people are tight and they're hurt, but they also have money in their home. They're not buying it zero down. They're not going to just walk away when you've got 20% or 30% equity. But I do agree. Unless we get some relief, people can only hold out for so long before eventually something's going to have to rub.
Yeah, and I would just share as well, Trent, as you were talking, it's a really good question. I was trying to find any good online resource specifically to this. Of course, through a lot of the agencies, they have numbers, but the numbers are through kind of the end of 2021, and now, not super current. To Scott's point, though, I would say, even if people are getting late with their mortgage, they're going to sell their house.
That's right.
They're going to sell their house. They're going to take the money and they're going to move on. And I think that's the big difference, because we represented a lot of the banks and did a lot of the short sales during that time period. And again, when most people had just nothing in it at all, they just walked away. They said, "Hey, there's nothing in this for me at all."
I bought my house for $1 million. Now it's worth $500,000. I don't have $1 in it because I bought it zero out of pocket. I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, I'm going to walk away. Then bank ends up getting the home back. We end up listing it, or fellow real estate brokers list it. So it is, but it is certainly a tough time with these rising everything. It is affecting people.
Oh, for sure it is. The other big difference is the banks learned a lot during that time. People in general would have stayed and made their mortgage payment. And that's how we were brought up. You make your mortgage payment regardless. So they would go to the banks and say, hey, look, I'm on an adjustable rate mortgage. My rate's at 8%. Can we work on it? And the banks were like, nope, make your payment. Nope, make your payment.
Yeah.
And then they realized people were like, no, I'm not going to make my payment. I'm going to walk away from it in droves. The banks don't want houses. And so this time around, if we did hit a little bit of a foreclosure scare, I can almost mark my words, the banks are going to be a lot more flexible about being able to keep people in it.
Yeah. What, Trent, are you going to the state fair this year?
Probably not.
No? You're not a state fair guy?
No. Well, it's comical watching everybody. I'm more of a people watcher when I do go there. It's comical watching everybody, but I just gotta dig in and keep my head above water, and I don't have time to relax. I gotta keep the ball moving.
What kind of work do you do, Trent?
Construction.
All right, man. All right. Where are you working at, or what kind of project you on?
Restoration right now, land restoration, and then I just got off from driving truck over the road, and that industry is taking a thing too. So.
Yeah, no
Right.
kidding. That's tough.
Hey, man, we appreciate you listening to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good weekend. Okay.
Yep, you too.
Yeah, thank you. It is. I was thinking about when he was talking about the construction world. I having some friends who work in construction. That is. Just so much respect for those guys and gals. Super hard work, committed. Building the infrastructure that we all enjoy.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And it's interesting because depending on what area of construction you're in, those guys are swamped. They're so busy, and builders can't find enough of them to help. But again, driving truck right now would be tough.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be an interesting time the next year or two in the market to see what does happen. With inflation, rising gas prices, food, everything going up, what people will do from a housing standpoint. But hopefully that answers some questions, at least from a market standpoint. Again, I think if nothing else, I know a lot of agents are saying there's no inventory. That they have some buyers where they're not able to help their buyers get into a home. So it's still a seller's market here in the Twin Cities, though it's shifted, though it's changed. We only have 8,500 or 700 homes. That is historically super, super low.
Oh yeah, it is. There's no bubble. There's no crash that's coming. It's a supply and demand issue. 8,500 homes, 18,000 is balanced. Equal amount of buyers, equal amount of sellers. So we're still in a very, very heavy seller's market. All that's going to happen is we're not going to keep appreciating at 15, 18% because the housing market can't sustain it because the affordability has gone down.
People can't afford it.
Can't afford it. So we're just going to see a slowdown of appreciation. We're going to start seeing this, 1-2% a year thing instead of 15, 18%.
Price reductions on homes.
Correct.
That happens when things are too expensive. Buyers are not dumb. They've seen all the competing 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 properties to yours. And so if yours is 50 grand higher, 25 higher, 100 higher, they do the Minnesota nice thing.
That's right.
And they don't even go look at it.
That's right.
They just don't look at it.
Yeah. And the other thing that is interesting, I'm a big numbers guy when I put listings on. So I always put them on coming soon so I can see the analytics. How many people have saved it as a favorite? How many people have saved it as an auto search? Meaning I put a 2-story on for $500,000 in Lakeville, and it comes up with 850 people that have gone in, either agents or individuals, and they've saved a search. I'm looking for a 2-story, 450 to 600,000 in Lakeville. So
Yeah.
I just put one on where we had 1,600 saved searches.
Wow.
Normally that would be 100 to 150 showings in the first 3-4 days. I had 14. We had 3 offers on it. 90 days ago, we would have had 114 and we would have had 40 offers on it. So there's still a lot of people that are out there. They're just taking a break.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got their searches set up. They're just not jumping on the properties right now.
Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection. What have you seen with your home inspection business?
Contrary to what you're saying, a little pause in the slowdown because of that overheated market, real high velocity with the buyers. I had gone pretty dormant. It was really slow. Now that we're getting back to a more normal market, my business has been ticking up.
Right.
So buyers are able to get an inspection where before they were waiving it.
That's right.
People want a home inspection
Yes.
now.
Well, it's kind of critical, and it was a sad thing that people had to waive it, but that was what the market demanded.
Brad, you know what August also is regarding F? I got one for you.
Okay.
See, I'm trying to listen,
You're helping.
August is the forms changes for us as realtors.
That's correct, it is.
Forms, our friends at the Minnesota Association of Realtors change the forms a little bit every year. They do a nice job, but there is one big change I wanted to talk about regarding the financing contingency. And that's one that we as agents really have to know inside and out. And I know we're already at the halfway point. We can talk more about that. But you see, Brad, forms change. That's super thrilling. Brad, but no family reunions for you.
The last Saturday of July was one. Yeah, none this month. But you guys, I understand. I'm starting to understand the intricacies of real estate. I mean, you're absolutely correct. When they can't afford it, according to Trent's question, when are they going to bail and take that equity, right?
Right.
Then that affects the number of homes that are available, right?
Right.
And then how many buyers do you have? There is a lot to consider there.
There is.
Scott, you got something to hit there, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a new listing going on. Tara Carden is on my team. These are one of my favorite clients through the years. This is probably the 4th or 5th time. Jody and Scott, I won't say their last name. I know they're listening. And their home is 2330 Aloha Avenue in Shakopee. List price is $475,000. It was built in 2020, which again, if you listen to the show, I've always said, don't buy new construction, buy something that's a couple years old. It's a better value and you get a lot more in it. And that's the case here. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3-car garage, 1 level living, in modern neutral decor. The home is meticulously maintained. Trust me, with these guys, it is. Why buy new construction when you can have better than new? So many upgrades have been done the past 2 years since purchase. Could not rebuild this home with all the upgrades at this price. One of the favorite upgrades is the covered patio they did in the back with new custom screens.
Fun.
Got soft closed white cabinets, oversized center island, quartz countertops, and backsplash. Large master suite with private master bath and double vanity. 2nd bedroom with high-end Kohler soaking tub, onyx brand tubs, surround going all the way to the ceiling. Shows like a model, and it really does. Guys. Check this one out. Again, the address is 2330 Aloha Avenue in Shakopee, listed at $475,000.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. It's August 6th, and we're live here every Saturday morning, 10 to 11, talking all things F today, thanks to our good friend Brad Sanford with Farmers Insurance. We'll be back after the break. Thanks for joining us on social media, wherever you might be catching us: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you. Your questions are always welcome. Whatever you might be thinking about with the market as a buyer, seller, fellow agent, there's no questions off limits at all. Second half of the show, we're going to be diving deep here with Brad and Steve as well, talking a little bit about their business as well. And again, I mentioned some changes with the forms and the financing contingency. Holy cow.
Wow. That's a bigger part of your life than you thought.
The important thing to know as agents is to be sure to look at those specific changes regarding that form. It talks about when the written statement is delivered when the lender sends their kind of final approval. And what happens if the letter is delivered or is not delivered? Who keeps the earnest money, buyer, seller? This is a change. Again, not super thrilling because it's kind of minutia, but there's always changes, Scott.
There is, and those changes will affect you. So you need to make sure your agent understands how it works. Like when the inspection contingency changed years ago, it used to be, that you would have to have everything in writing, and now you can actually let it kind of time out, and then all of a sudden the purchase agreement as it is in place. That was the learning curve for a lot of agents to know. And again, if you're a buyer and seller, it affects you in the end. So you want to know.
We're going to dive in a little bit. Brad, from an insurance standpoint, again, Farmers Insurance, awesome partner on the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thoughts, tips, strategies, ideas for people in this market?
I've been talking about it every time I'm on the show. Maintaining your home is a big thing. Making sure that you are keeping your asset at tip-top shape. And that's what I got with me. I got a seasonal maintenance upkeep, which will fit with Steve and his inspections, and he can kind of elaborate a little bit on it, and we can go from there.
I think the natural thing to do is, there's a specific type of homeowner that is very good at maintenance and upkeep, and there's a lot of people that aren't. And where we see it is in the seller's disclosure. If the seller fills out the disclosure when selling the home, the full seller's disclosure, buyers have a hard time understanding, well, they must have known about this. They must have known about that. And not all homeowners are diligent or aware of those different things.
Yeah, the majority absolutely don't know. And in an arbitration hearing, which I've been in quite a few through the years, you have to understand this, that it's on you as the person bringing the arbitration to prove that the seller, not that there was an issue. The issue is obviously it is to prove that they had knowledge of the issue and that they purposely did not disclose it. It is very, very hard to do. Yeah, it is very hard to do because the majority of the time sellers just didn't know.
Yeah, it is. Steve, I would think too, from your perspective, you're trying to help those buyers uncover all those issues through the inspection.
Yeah, I have to just reiterate what Scott said. Homeowners really are a lot of times are the last to know, because some of the things that I find, there's no way they'd let go. And I find toilets, the floors around toilets so rotten, and then you get down the basement, look up, it's like, oh my goodness, what's holding it up? Well, it's a bathroom they never use. They have no idea that it's about to fall through the floor. The number of times I see things like that is once a week.
Yeah, that is. I would think, Brett, how many calls do you get from the client that something has gone horribly wrong in insurance? Where are you?
At least probably once a week.
Really?
Yeah, I had a very close friend that her and her fiance bought a house, and there was some maintenance that wasn't done. Water started running in the house, and that was expensive for him.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So.
All right, we're gonna keep the conversation going. We're going live back on air on Twin Cities News Talk AM 1130 every Saturday 10 to 11. We podcast the show too. If you're on Spotify, iHeart. Thanks again. Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We've got a couple other listings to hit on. Janelle Seitzer with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus. She has a great one down in New Prague. The address is 203 Speech Street in New Prague, and the price on this one is $399,900, and it's a 2005 built split entry. It has a very generous foyer, 4-bed. There's 3 of them on one level, 3 bathrooms, including an owner's end suite, cherry woodwork, and kitchen cabinets, granite countertops, 2,500 plus finished square feet, newer roof, Scott, newer appliances, and so many incredible updates. 203 Speech Street, that is down in New Prague, and that's listed at $399,900. And then the other one, how about this? Our friend Mr. Benedict, Adam Benedict.
Oh, very nice.
Adam Benedict has one in Champlin, 11525 Pondview Court North in Champlin, and it is a meticulously updated 5-bed, three-car garage home. It's listed for $520,000, and the front of the home was just repainted with designer chosen colors. New hardwood and light fixtures have been installed throughout the home. There are just a few examples of the many updates to be found in this lovely property. An enticing location with the extensive trail system and walking paths of nearby Elm Creek Park Reserve, just a half block away. That's in Champlin, 11525 Pondview Court, north in Champlin. Listed for $520,000. Nice place.
Yeah, that sounds like a great place.
Brian, would you say those are for sale?
Those are for sale. With the F's. I like this guy.
Yeah, there we go.
I like these guys. F's. I know Mike Dubs is going to be thinking of more F's too. Mike's going to throw a few. Hey, what's going on in the insurance world? Tell us what's new. We always love having you on the show, Brad.
You know, I was trying to keep it consistent, and so this week I brought in, just happens to coincide with Steve being on the show, a monthly and a seasonal maintenance upkeep for your home. Because as we were talking off air, it is incumbent upon the homeowner to make sure they're keeping the home up and keeping their asset worth what we all think that it should be and what you're buying it at and selling it and all that kind of stuff. So I thought what I would do is just kind of hit the highlights, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Out here. So in the fall, obviously you want to rake the leaves. I've seen some houses where they're not, you want to clean the gutters. So the gutters are really, and I'm sure Steve will tell you this, are a really big issue, because if they're clogged and the water is just running over and running down, it's eventually going to get to the foundation. And then that causes a huge problem. And all these things are to avoid the risk of insuring that property, right? Because if it's a higher risk, then there's a higher premium for that. So
I've got a question on that line. So you see a lot of the commercials on the rain gutters, or the whatever they call them, the little helmets.
Gutter helmet.
Gutter helmet. And is there a break on insurance if people do that?
not for there. No, we expect you to put in. What you're doing is you're pushing the water away from the foundation.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that'll help you.
Now keep going. What do you got? I like what you got.
Inspect the heating system by a professional. Make sure that it's upkeep. Because I didn't know this, but when my wife and I, we get our furnace inspected every year, and those things rust. So
Right.
I didn't know that really. So
Right.
that was a learning lesson there. Check and make sure in each season that there are no missing shingles and that water can make its way in. Right. Winter, you're not doing much. You're inside most of the time. But before that hits, make sure you cover your air conditioner. That'll save that life of the air conditioner. Just check the walls of the basement for any leaks that might be there. Make sure there's nothing happening there, because as Steve's pointed out, you see underneath, but that's the result of the symptom that was happening beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can catch something there, that'd be great. Vacuum refrigerator coils. I gotta admit, I've never done that.
I didn't even know there was a refrigerator coil.
Vacuum your refrigerator coils. Huh.
The first thing I did when I saw this list last week was I went out to the garage to the refrigerator that we have that has beverages in it and looked behind, and sure enough, there's all kinds of dust back there. So I got out the shop vac and
You did?
cleaned it all up.
Brad, going above and beyond.
Living what I'm preaching, right?
Nice work. Very nice. Very nice.
The spring, clean the gutters again. Change the air conditioning filters. Really should be done at that time. The monthly maintenance, changing your furnace filter. I feel like that's an obvious one, but as Scott pointed out, maybe not everybody knows that you should replace it all the time.
It is probably the number one thing that homeowners do not do, because whenever there's like my sellers say anything and you do prior to the inspection, and I always say make sure you change your furnace filter, and they maybe did it like 6 months earlier is the last time they did it.
What's
Just
the filthiest
filthy.
one you've seen, Steve?
I've seen them just totally falling apart
Oh,
and caving in, being pulled into the blower fan. So, in fact, to Scott's point, it's really common that people have not replaced their filter. So when I set up every inspection before I even go into the house, my reports already say that the filter needs to be replaced, smoke alarms are old, that kind of stuff. And I get a little disappointed when I get to a house and there's a brand new filter. Like, geez, I got to go into the report and delete this now, because this is the one house all week that's going to be, taken care of. That's how common it is.
Furnace filters, it is.
Isn't that amazing? So can you settle a debate? I was talking to a home improvement store person, and the type of furnace filter that you get, does it matter if it can stop more, or is there just like a minimum?
Oh, let's just fan the flames on that debate.
Fan
Fan
the flames?
Fan the flames. Oh, more F's. This is fantastic.
You're falling right into it.
From Farmers Insurance. Yes, please.
So your heating contractors will tell you that airflow is key, and you do not want to have any sort of filter media that impedes airflow. So that's why we say buy the cheap filters, because what happens is they understand human nature. No one changes their filters very often. And if you buy that real high-end filter that's going to capture everything within a month, you're going to diminish your airflow significantly.
There you go.
Heating contractors see it all the time. On the other hand, if you are someone who has respiratory issues and you want to filter out all that small particulate stuff, hey, those beautiful 3M filters do a great job of filtering it out. Just change them frequently.
And that's what the advertising tells you, right? They got that ugly bug on the front, and then your family playing. And
so it's one of those things where if you have the discipline to change them frequently, and even at that, a lot of heating contractors will tell you, one of those filters that, the high-end filters, high MERV numbers, even fresh, brand new, diminish the airflow. So it's a trade-off. You just have to know what you're doing.
Sure.
Steve, if you are familiar.
See, look at this. What does that say? August 19th.
What does that say? Get those glasses
replace
on.
Furnace filter.
No, you don't.
I did.
My gosh.
No, I'm not at a place where I have to do it anymore, but that's the only way I remember to do it. I actually put it in every month on my phone so that I would replace it.
It's a slower real estate market when you pull up your calendar and all you got in there is
take your Ambien and replace your furnace filter.
There's no showings. There's no I'm trying to think some other good F words. But that the forecast this weekend is really actually for more rain.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, we're at the break already. We've had some featured listings to talk about today. We've got the State Fair, which is a festival, and we do appreciate all of our faithful listeners who have helped the show slowly but surely try to flourish, even though we don't care about Scott's footwear.
Yeah.
This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. So we got F letters, lots of F letters. Scott gets
the show.
You totally get frantic though.
I do get
when
frantic.
I start doing that. I mean, he's fraught. He gets fraught with all types of kind of worry.
Oh, this is right up your alley too. Brad, I can't believe you brought this into the show.
Yes, Brad.
He's a word freak.
I am.
Word freak.
All
right.
I love words.
Do you?
I do love words. That
words.
is one thing that it's. I was talking to actually a friend of mine who who was talking about Toastmasters.
Oh, okay.
And being a part of Toastmasters, and one of the things that they required them to do was to be totally like impromptu, where like if you give a list of like 5 words, and then you have to give a speech about those 5 words. Like, you've got to get up there and just kind of think on your feet a little bit, You'd be good at that, Scott.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if you ever watch Good Morning Football.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yes.
And they have a game they play on that where you have to give an argument. So let's say your argument has to be why Pittsburgh, with a new quarterback, is going to go to the Super Bowl. And then they give you 10 words that you have to put into your argument. And they might be like charades or elephants or whatever. So you've got to make this argument about why Pittsburgh's going to go to the Super Bowl. And so then you're saying they're going to go there, and believe me, this is no charade. And then you have to lead into it. And it's funny how they actually, they're good at it. They'll get through all 10 words and fit it into their arguments.
Really?
Yeah,
do that on the show.
And they only have 30 seconds.
Both you guys would be good at that, Brad. You would be, wouldn't
It'd be
you?
my favorite show.
Were you? I know you had you have a political spirit as well. Were you involved with any speaking throughout your life? Any
Oh,
public speaking?
Absolutely. Did a lot of debates. Absolutely.
See, this guy. I know this guy.
Spoke at my daughter's high school about running for office and what it took and all that. Yep.
You
Absolutely.
did?
Yep.
Steve, how about you? No.
I avoid that.
Forget it, he says.
Yeah.
He's looking at furnace filters, right?
Fantastic furnace.
Yeah. But that is actually an interesting point because you think about you want the best one, but to your point, just get the low end one that catches most of it, and instead of having
Well,
the
it's
top
still
He
end.
said
the
it's
air-
still a trade-off. Just know the trade-offs.
Yeah, still lets the air flow through.
Right. Yeah, it does flow well.
That's right.
Fierce.
Fiercely flows.
Super. Hey, it's been a fun show, and we will be back next weekend again. It's every Saturday from 10 to 11. Thank you for those who have watched for a minute, 2 minutes, or the entire show. We're going to dive back in with Brad and Steve here. Scott, we've been taking him on tangents here today,
I know, that's all right.
right?
Next week, sign and cosine.
Yes. All right, here you go. We're going back live on air. Twin Cities News Talk, AM 1130. Yeah. Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. It's Saturday. It's August 6th. Farmers totally are appreciating this rain that we are having. We needed the rain very badly. And thanks to our friend Brad from Farmers Insurance, it has been the show of F's. It's been fierce. It's been forgetful. It's been forced.
Oh, at times.
And you know what? It's coming near to the finish. There you go.
Fixing to finish the list here. Yes.
What do you got on your list, man?
So
Help
last
us out.
couple of things in the spring is flush your water heater.
Ah, good.
And that one I had heard of before, and I've done that a few times. I forget every once in a while, but technology, amazing, Scott. You can just put that replace filter, replace contacts, do all that stuff, right? And then the one that when I saw this, I thought, what is that there for? But my sister-in-law and her husband are in town, and they're staying at my father-in-law's, and his dish. She started the dishwasher, and the dishwasher started on fire.
Oh, wow.
Sure enough, one of the things on here every summer is to check the dishwasher for damage or leaks.
Huh.
I would have never thought of that.
Me neither.
So it started on fire.
Yeah,
What happened? Or
Sorry,
what?
I'm sorry. I'm over making it bigger than what it was. It started to smoke.
Okay.
It was going to start on fire. So, got to get a new dishwasher. So, I'll leave here and I'll go help you put in the new dishwasher. So,
Wow.
Amazing.
Brad, again, you help people with all types of insurance. Obviously, fellow agents who might be listening. Different brokers, clients. I can't encourage you enough to reach out to Brad Sanford and his team from an insurance standpoint. Again, you guys are doing a little bit of everything, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. We do the car, the home, the auto, the life insurance, and health insurance, and do business insurance, all that. We take care of everything. Make sure that you're fully covered.
Health insurance wise, anything you're seeing right now for people in that area?
Oh man, and that is a very tough industry, and there's a lot more regulations coming down, so a lot more training to go through. So yeah, that's adding to all the.
Brad Sanford Farmers Insurance. Best way for people to reach you, to connect with you.
MinnesotaRealEstateShow.com. Any one of you two or three on the show, or you can call me at my office 651-690-2076.
Thanks for bringing the topic today.
Very nice.
You are welcome.
That was fun.
It's a favorite day.
That was super fun. Steve Staylock, home inspection. You are doing more home inspections again. I'm happy to hear that. Last year you were not doing as many, right?
The last year has been slow, and it's starting to tick back up. So buyers are able to get that inspection contingency locked in, and that means I'm busier.
Had a nice comment. Thank you. Thomas says, love the show. Our first home was on Frankson Avenue, just 3 blocks from the State Fair entrance. We have plenty of stories about crowds, people asking to use our bathroom, parking in our driveway, asking for water and food. The list goes on and on.
That's funny.
I can only imagine. Yeah, think about that. If you live right by the fair on that street, that's got to be hard. Oh my gosh, Thomas, you could feel the pain where people come up knocking on the door, say, hey, is there any way we can use your restroom? That type of thing.
$40.
Yeah, parking does get spendy over there, doesn't it?
Crazy. Yeah, I once inspected a house a block off of, what is that, Snelling is the main entrance. So a block off, and I'm going through the house, and in the front hall closet, big sign, and it was painted. It said fair parking, but above the word fair, unfair parking. They could charge $40 to park in their front yard. Yeah. I thought that was great.
Hey, before we wrap up with Steve here as well, I did want to touch on one last listing. Jared and Ashley Hinneker have a great listing. This is priced at $140,000. Now, very unique. Listen to this. This is a storage flex space for sale in Prescott, Wisconsin. And they said this would be space you buy that you could use as storage or run a business out of. Currently, there are boaters, campers, homeowners, and business owners buying these units. There are a variety of upgrades available. The base package again is $140,000 for 1,125 square feet. There's an upgrade available to add a loft of 375 square feet, and this would be an owned space, and the owners have the option to lease out their units. There is an HOA for snow and lawn care, and all exterior of the buildings are covered. Very cool, super cool. Again, $140,000 is the base price of this in Prescott, Wisconsin. Scott, you were mentioning before the show, you have a little history with.
Well, yes, I've got a buddy of mine that owns very similar. It's a car condo in Eden Prairie. And where there's bays where you can work on your cars, and then above there's a flex space with a bar and a game room and pool table and whatever else, and he had just recently sold it in the last couple of years and it was around $600,000. But they're very, very nice, and if you have luxury cars, it's a place you can keep them and work on.
Steve, have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Those flex spaces.
But I recall inspecting a home years ago. It was probably a 10,000 square foot home. Half the house was living space. The other half, it was the most awesome garage
for the cars.
He had a hydraulic hoist. He had the bar and the man. It was an amazing home.
Yeah, I've showed some that have that. And it always surprises you too, because when you open that up, you're just like, oh my gosh! I mean, it's like that the garage is more fancy than the actual house is.
Yeah.
The floor and they've got bar out there and
the finishings.
Eight TVs and everything. Yeah, it's
fireplace totally redone.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, 660 Dexter Street South in Prescott, Wisconsin. Really cool stuff. From an insurance standpoint, do you see many of those? That's a unique one. Not to put you on the spot, but I will.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing my own garage floor and fixing with that, because that takes care of all of the way the cement falls apart and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So looking for the F word there, falls apart. So.
Steve, we're heading to the home stretch here. Any other thoughts for buyers, sellers, people in this market?
Well, don't skip the inspection. But then, Brad had brought a good list of seasonal things to do. I would say today is a perfect day with the rain. Get outside and look at your house. Start, tip, and go to the ground and look for the pathways that the water is flowing off the house. Look for your gutters. Are they full? It could very well be that a house that you just recently bought, the previous owners never had water issues, but now something changed. Maybe you haven't cleaned gutters. Downspouts have fallen away and all the water is puddling against your foundation. And for the first time in 40 years, water is getting into that basement. So take care of those things. Watch the water.
Yeah.
Great day today.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit off air about, it's really, really hard to prove in a arbitration hearing that the sellers had knowledge. And then when you bring that up, you buy a house the first time you move in, it rains, you get water in the basement. And the thought is, well, this had to have happened to the sellers before. And maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But the one that sticks out of my brain is I sold a house. One of the first homes I sold in Farmington. Basement was recently redone. It was in the middle of winter, and so we closed on the house. Kids love it. Soon as spring hit, almost 6 inches of water in the basement.
Oh my God.
And So when we ripped the sheetrock off, I mean, there were gaps in the foundation, almost an inch wide. So of course they won the arbitration hearing because there's no way in the world the seller could say we didn't have knowledge of it because there was no way water was not going to come into that basement, which is the reason they finished it and sold it.
Yeah, water issues. That I'm sure, Brad, with your business too, that's probably a lot of what you see just with damage that happens to homes.
That's a difficult conversation because water running in isn't covered unless you have flood insurance. And right, if your sewer backs up, if you don't have backup sewer and drain coverage, that damage you got to pay for on your own too. So yeah, sometimes it's a difficult conversation.
Or your water you're blowing up. I mean, I see that happen all the time. And all of a sudden, if you're gone for the weekend, and you come home and you've got 6 inches of water in your basement. And
Yeah, bad news. Steve, best way for people to connect with you, Steve Stale, on Win Home Inspection.
Clearly, the website for the radio show, mnrealestateshow.com. You do a great job with preferred partners there. Click on that, go down to home inspectors, look for that handsome bald guy. That's me. That is the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Yeah, it has been a fun show. The day of the F, thanks to our friend Brad Sanford from Farmers Insurance. Scott, we head to the last 6 months, actually 5 months of the year, August, September. Yeah, 5 months. What do we got in store for us?
I think we're going to have similar to last year. I think we're going to start to ramp back up. I think people are going to have hit the brakes. They already have. It's been slow for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and then I think we're going to have a settle into that. This is our norm, and like Brad had said earlier in the show, you got to live somewhere, and it is still cheaper to live in a house and own than it is to rent in this market. So I think we're going to see people get back in the saddle. Like I said, inventory is too low. There's not enough homes out there. There's still pent up demand of a lot of buyers that have saved searches, and right now they've got sticker shock. And it'll go away.
Scott, great job, friend.
Yeah, you too.
Steve Stalock, nice work, young man.
Been a fantastic day.
Brad Sanford, Farmers, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. See you at the fair.
Yeah, see you at the fair. It's been a fun show here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Again, family reunions. Looking forward to seeing all the Balins this weekend. And again, a shout out to the Krippners, my mother-in-law Sue, her family up in the St. Cloud area. Hope it is a great time. Appreciate you tuning in to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, we have a top agent on the Minnesota Real Estate team here to help you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching the whole show. The show of F is what this one is. That was a lot of fun. We'll be back next Saturday. Stay dry today, and great job, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see you later.